really protect them and stuff rather than just explaining things. But we're not explaining things. We're just no, and that's it. Don't ask me questions. You're going to get hit.
Oh, my God. Tell me about it. Yeah. I feel like, too, I have children. I have 2 boys. I try not to do that. I used to because I was an early mom, and I didn't really know no better. I was definitely ignorant before I started taking, like, parenting classes. But I feel like my oldest, I muted his voice. So now at 11, I find myself all the time saying, like, express how you feel. It's okay to stand on your own feelings. It's okay to feel that. Like, take 20 minutes for yourself and feel how it is you feel. Like, but so in the beginning, it wasn't always like that. It was like, boys don't cry, or like, wipe your tears. And I kick myself now, right? And we're in family therapy. We've been going now for about 2 to 3 years. But, like, I kick myself now because it's like the same little boy I was saying to stop crying and wipe your tears is the same little boy now who's having a hard time expressing himself or coming to me to express certain things. Like, it'd be silly things that he'd think that, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that because I'm a boy, or I shouldn't express that feelings. Or, like, one time, not to get too personal, guys, but so his dad was supposed to come from Maryland, and the snow came. He was really upset, and he cried in the shower, but I heard him. So I'm like, when he got out, I was like, hey, come in here, come in my room. We talked. I'm like, well, what's going on? Like, he was like, well, I'm just a little sad that my dad didn't come. I'm like, Pop, it's okay for you to come. Like, this is your safe place. You don't have to go to the shower and cry. But, like, it crushed me that he didn't know that already, you know? But then again, it's that, like, accountability came into part because it was because of me, because for so many years, I pretty much muted his voice. So it's definitely important that we allow our children to have the open space to talk, or for parents to come in and actually try to sit down and figure out what's going on in our kid's life, or to open up this conversation, like you say, because I ain't have it as a child. Like, I didn't have that. My mom was never coming to me asking me how I feel. For anything, she was telling me to stay in a child's place. You don't have feelings. You don't have to think. I think for you. Like, that was her thing. But
rather be seen than heard.
Right. But we're working on that. We're trying to end that generational curse, but
that's the thing. It's not a curse. It's the intergenerational trauma that a lot of families go through. Mm-hmm. So it's not your fault that you did that to your son. Because look at how you grew up.
Right.
Oh, wait. And then look at how your mom grew up. And then look at how her mom...
who was actually a slave, and then she... So I get it. I definitely get it. But it has to stop somewhere, and it's definitely stopping with me.
Breaking that cycle.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are struggling right now. And we have to be resilient in this struggle, in these hard times, because we are breaking that cycle. And it's that hard work. Mm-hmm. Like I saw a meme last night of a kid... this newborn baby, in the headline it said, oh, this kid, like, he was giving like looks like brand new kid, woke up and he was like, this is it, this is my family I have to be born in. That was like the meme. And I'm like, yeah, that's probably what I felt. I have to be born in this family and do the hard work of breaking these cycles that they were going through over that wasn't working. So these toxic things that my family did, like body shame me, or, but they never saw that as body shaming. Oh, they felt bad. Oh, they want me to be healthy. They want me to be safe. They want me to look good. Their honor, this and that and that. But then you're belittling me and telling me what I should and should not eat based off of your standards of how I should look. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, not their standards. Society standards of this cookie cutter type of way that I should look compared to, and then now how is it affecting me? And I did go through eating disorder. And I actually just realized that it was an eating disorder recently, because I was just like babying it. Like, I just, threw up because, I drank too much alcohol and I just didn't want to be hungover the next day. No, it actually wasn't. And I never actually talked about it. But how are we ever going to heal and be resilient and also be a role model to other people if we don't talk about it? Mm-hmm. So it's okay that you're being vulnerable and talking about these things that you're still learning. Like, if you say, I'm done, I'm an expert, shame on you.
Right.
None of us are experts. We're always learning, always evolving, always growing. And that's what's so beautiful about, what you're doing now with this podcast.
Thank you. Well, thank you. Wow. I'm just, like, really sitting here taking it all in once again. Here we always get off topic, but when you got information, you have to take it in. Tatiana, so I want to get into mental health within Black and brown youth and adolescents. So my first question is to you. Do you actually work or see like Black and brown youth that come to like any of your programs or your classes or anything like that?
Yes.
So do you see anything? Well, first of all, I do want to let you guys know that Tatiana do have a background in psychology. That's what her degree in. So she's not just coming up here just talking and she's a founder of something. No, she actually have the education behind it. So Tatiana, within the group of children that you see, they're from the community.
Yes.
Correct? So do you see like any mental health issues? Do you see if any of them going through like mental health crisis or anything of that sort?
Yeah.
That you could touch bases on?
I do. And, I right now with Noteworthy, it is part-time, but I do also work at Northern Rivers. And I want to say that because I want to normalize people having a passion and going for their passion, yet that passion might not be physically sustainable or help or supporting you, but you can still do the passion, right? Noteworthy is my passion, but I still have to have a day job. But with my day job, it's also helping me with Noteworthy. And I have 10 youth that I meet with once a week, and all of the majority of them are Black and brown children and adolescents. And the common thing that I'm seeing with all of them is their environment is what's really triggering them and affecting them, and what they should say and how they should wear, what they should wear, and how they talk to themselves. And it's not just, where they grew up, but it's the people. It's their negative, the people around you. If someone around you is complaining, you're also going to feed into that, or something's never good enough. And a lot of times, we do complain just to vent, but we don't realize that like talking about money or talking about other struggles and challenges that you might face in your life, the kids actually see that and then they start worrying and they have like no control over it. So a lot of kids, and luckily right now only one of them is like trying to be a role model for other kids his age to really talk about mental health, especially on his Instagram.
Oh, how old is he?
He's 14.
Really?
Yeah, he lives in the area, and it's just like, people just, it's hard for them to talk about feelings. But when you do talk about it and you let them know, like, I'm struggling too, or you share similarities, it actually makes them feel a little bit more comfortable to be transparent with you and vulnerable too. Like, it's okay to talk about it. But at first, it's that anger, right? Anger comes out first. And when you see someone angry, it's because they're hurting. Mm-hmm. And why are they hurting? They have many reasons why they're hurting. Look at all the social injustices that are happening. I mean, So it's like, how are they supposed to comprehend everything that's going around, and then what they should do and what resources that, if they have any available to them? Because a lot of families that talk to me, like, I'm so lucky that they have the resources. Some of them have the resources because other kids don't. Because I'll go out to classrooms and talk to kids, whether it's at Giffen Elementary School or Toast, the elementary schools in the Albany area. And a lot of them, they only talk about certain like feelings and mental health only like within that time. They don't talk about it at home. Mm-hmm. And why? Is it just a biological thing? And that's what a lot of, adults, they'll go into the hospital for heart problems. They think it's their heart, but it's actually the stress that they're going through. Mm-hmm. And especially Black women being affected, even not getting the right care that they need. Oh, it's just your heart. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, it's something else. And then they're labeled crazy. And then they're labeled angry. Mm-hmm. Why are you labeling people? Why can't you just take it for what it is to help this human?
And that's why people are so fearful to ask for help, because they're scared to be stigmatized or to be labeled, or because no one want to be considered crazy, right? And I say that because within my family, I'm like one of 9 sisters, and we're so different. Like, a lot of my siblings is like, oh, be this or be that. And to them, it's a title of endearment. And I'm like the super emotional one, they say. And I'm like, no, please don't call me that. Like, I don't like when you call me that. It doesn't make me feel good. And at first, it was just like, no, no, no. But now they're like, okay, well, we know that you're different, which I hate that too in itself. It's like, no, I'm not different. We should treat all of us like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you should treat all the siblings like that. But it's new. It's something to get used to, I can say.
Especially when you're in that moment of breaking that cycle of intergenerational trauma, and then like, everyone's just like in the flow. Yeah, just like whatever. Let's just do whatever's comfortable. Well, that's doing what's comfortable is not working.
Right.
So you have those feelings for a reason, and I've also been labeled black sheep in my family. Not like the one that's always asking questions and ask like why? But why is it like that? You know, why are women so suppressed in Albanian culture, like how I grew up? Why is it the women so suppressed, and then yet they're the ones that do everything for the family, and then all the men get the credit for it? Do you feel like that also is something similar in the Jamaican community?
Yes. Black period. Like, and I feel like, you know, it's funny, we was having a conversation not too long ago when we were actually talking about, like, women erased from history, and we, like, we mentioned the men, even, like, with Martin Luther King and, like, Malcolm X, you always hear the men, but a lot of that is because the women did the work behind the scenes. Like, you hear about Franklin Roosevelt, and, like, but what was his wife doing behind the scene? Like, I feel like it's just women in general, honestly. I feel like we're not honored in ways that our society honors men. And I'm not sure is why, but we're stopping that now.
Yeah.
We're stopping that now because we rule the world, honestly. Like, women, we keep it going. I say that all the time. I'm not just saying it now because we're on air. Like, we generally rule the world. Like, I don't think this world will function without women.
No. And there's no, I don't understand the negative outlook on, you know, because all humans have a balance of feminine, masculine energy. So why is the feminine not enough? Well, who made it not enough? Why are people being shunned, even like when they're called witches? Now the whole witch theme is being like totally used for what it was supposed to be used for. So women just on their own is a witch. A woman that empowers herself and takes charge and does what she wants on her own, not attached to a man like a husband or brother or father. She is who she is on her own. That's what a witch is. But this society and Hollywood has shifted it into a crooked nose, nasty, evil type person. But a witch is actually